For 40 days after Jesus was resurrected, he is hanging out with his fellas before he ascends into heaven. One of their little hangouts was on the beach. I'm reading about this in John chapter 21. On the beach, Jesus grilled fish for these guys, and he's hanging out with them, and he's laying some heavy-duty information on them, telling them how their walk is going to be, what life is going to be like for them, what their journey will be, even to their death. John 21:19 tells us Jesus said this to let Peter know by what kind of death he would glorify God. Peter's death would glorify God just as much as everything else Peter would do in his life would. Then Jesus told him 2 little words to sum it all up. Everything that you walk through, Peter, remember this: just follow me. Well, Peter, in verse 20, he turns around behind him and looks at this other disciple. He looks at John, and he says in verse 21, Jesus, what about this fellow? Verse 22, Jesus replied, if I want him to remain until I return, what is it to you? As for you, follow me. In essence, Jesus told Peter right here, the way this guy's going to walk his walk is none of your business. The way you start, the way you finish, and everything in between is about you following me the way I lead you. The way he starts, the way he walks his walk, and the way he finishes is none of your business. What is that to you? I wish every believer would read Romans 14 on a regular basis. Like, you could even read it once a week, and that would be a really good way to. We talk about love and how we learn love. We need to walk in love. Well, we learn it by reading the scripture and doing what it tells us to do. The scripture tells us plainly how to love each other. Romans 14 starts out like this: accept other believers who are weak in the faith, and don't argue with them about what they think is right or wrong. He comes down in verse 4 and says, who are you to condemn someone else's servant? Their own master will judge them. In verse 10, he says it again. Why do you condemn another believer? Why do you look down on another believer? Just because they believe differently from you, because they walk differently from you. He tells us over here in, let's see what verses, verse 19, Romans 14:19, he said, let us aim for harmony in the church and try to build each other up. That's the way to walk in love. Mind your own business. Walk your walk according to your convictions, the way God has called you to walk it, and let your brother walk his walk. My prayer today is, lead me, Lord, and I'll follow. Anywhere you open up the door, oh, let your word speak to me. Show me things I've never seen before. Oh, Lord, I want to be your witness. I know you will take whatever's wrong, you make it right. I pray, Jesus, shine down on me and let your love shine through me in the night. Let your brother walk his walk, because it's not your business.